everybody, and welcome to the hashtag Hype Train podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Corey, and I'll be your dungeon master for this game. Everyone grab your reference sheets and roll those d20s for initiative, and let's get going.
DM says you're gonna die. Roll a d6. Roll a d6. Roll a d6. Na. DM says you're gonna die. Roll a d6. Okay.
That's
roll a d6 by some group of people who did that.
Yeah,
Well,
you
either
remember,
way-
that's the ending to the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I want to be
Marlon Wayans.
like a rogue, like an elf rogue or something. A dark elf rogue. That's what I'm
You would.
I
don't
told
play
you guys
Dungeons-
I'm getting that game going, and you're more than welcome to join via Skype or Zoom.
I don't
I
have that.
don't
I don't
like.
have time.
I don't like fantasy. You guys remember that, right?
I'll call you when it gets to the modern times part.
I just looked it up. That song is called Roll a D6 by somebody named Connor Anderson. It's a parody of a song that was popular like 12 years ago called Like a G6.
Oh,
Mr. Anderson.
that's cool. I mean, if it's something I can YouTube, I could throw a clip in there. It'll be kind of funny. And I just closed out of my notes the Wikipedia on the next trailer.
Hey
And welcome
everybody.
everybody to the hashtag Hype Train. We are a trailer review society, and we're chugging along on this highway where we look at trailers and we talk about them, and we just have some good old buddy laughs, and then we put it on YouTube for you guys to listen. So, and since Mike's so preoccupied by closing notes, I'll just get the show kicked off for once, so Mike doesn't have to do it and he can get all reorganized.
Yeah.
Our first trailer is for an Apple TV television show that no one's going to see because it's on Apple TV. Ewan McGregor and his friend and fellow actor who has been in acting things, not just his unknown friend, Charlie Borman, travel on electric Harley Davidsons 13,000 miles through Central and South America in Long Way Up.
I've been dreaming of doing a trip through South America for years,
We're here with world-famous actor Ewan McGregor.
but life got in the way. And now I've decided to do the trip with my best friend, Charlie Borman.
You've got to look after the relationships in your life, and if you don't, you're losing something that's very important.
We'll ride 13,000 miles from the southern tip of Argentina all the way to Los Angeles.
150 miles every day is a long way to go.
And if that wasn't enough of a challenge, we wanted to see if we could do it on electric motorcycles.
I think it's the future electric.
You'd be the first people to go this distance, charging as you go.
Oh my god, it's so great, isn't it?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
the power's just gone.
This is us on the road, Charlie. This is us on the way, man.
I'm gonna get attacked by this dog. We'll ride through the brutal Patagonian winter.
Look at that snow. It's amazing how cold it is.
We're gonna climb to the extreme heights of the Andes and experience the real risks of high altitude.
I can't breathe.
I'm definitely getting sick, Charlie.
Before witnessing the endangered jungles of Central America.
To think about all of the things that might go wrong.
I think we're lost.
Is this a road? Roads might be a little bit. Wow, I've fallen off.
In the middle of the night, things just go around your brain, don't they?
I have real fear. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
They just roll around.
I'm not going to make it.
Towing somebody on a bike is dangerous.
What if the bikes don't work? What if we can't charge the bikes? What if it snows tomorrow?
I really enjoy the unknown of it all. Just coming across the people we come across.
What is this?
Amazing, the people.
Learning about the cultures and seeing how people keep their traditions alive.
Puts you in touch with yourself in the world in a way. I'm an actor.
What films have you made?
Did anybody see Star Wars? No.
I don't think so.
None of these kids have seen anything I've done. Long way up, two guys lost in South America.
All right, guys, that was the trailer for Long Way Up on Apple TV with Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borley. And I'm going to throw Fernandez for a curveball, and I'm going to call Pops right now on camera.
Ooh, all right. He has he watched it, or are we finding out right now?
We're going to find out.
Oh, cool.
Hello.
Hey, Pops.
Hey.
Hey, what are you doing?
What's going on?
What are you doing right now?
Just watch TV.
Hey, that's good. So you're on the hashtag Hype Train podcast right now.
Hey, welcome.
I'm on the what? Oh, podcast?
Yeah, you're on the podcast. Pops,
Hey,
you have
Mr.
Apple
T.
TV, right? Have you watched Long Way Up with Ewan McGregor yet?
Long way. Oh no, I have not.
It's the one where him and Charlie Borum travel.
They're on an electric motorcycle.
Yeah. Okay. So Fernandez assumed because I picked this trailer that everyone's already going to see it because it started airing in September, and I told him Pops
Not what I
is the
said.
only person I know with Apple TV, and I bet he hasn't watched it.
Only person in the world.
I've not watched it yet.
All right, thanks, Pops. That's all I needed. All right, I love you, Pops. All
I love you guys.
right, bye.
That was great. I like that little phone a friend.
This
That's
will be the
great.
only episode he watches.
Yeah. Frank Trujillo Jr., everybody.
Hey.
So we were talking off camera in the trailer that you guys don't get to hear about how initially my pick for this week was going to be the horrible god-awful trailer for Monster Hunter, which don't worry, everybody settle your diapies down because we'll get to that in another episode because it has to be talked about at some point, just what a travesty it is to the world and the world around us. But I was sitting there in bed watching YouTube and this popped up on my recently published, and so I was like, oh, what's this? And I recently posted, and I clicked on it and I watched it, and just the amount of fun in Ewan McGregor's voice was instantly, I was like, nope, this is the trailer. I didn't like look at anything else, and apparently missed the end of the trailer where it said coming in September or whatever. But that aside, this just seemed like something that if any one of us had infinite money, time, popularity, fame, whatever, that it's something we would do. Maybe not motorcycles, but I could easily see if one of us was rich and famous, we'd just be like, oh, hey, what if we rented a van for 32 days and tried to go to all 50 states and eat at a restaurant in all 50 states? Like, and then we'll sell it to Netflix and we'll call it 3 Weird Guys in a Van.
Yeah,
And,
you think we do it because you two did it. You know, like that's a thing that happened in reality behind the scenes of the show years ago. I was invited to go visit a friend of ours, but then I was out of the country, and then Corey got antsy, and him and Mike just made the trip.
And I was not invited at all.
Me.
Really?
And they recorded it.
And he refuses to let it go for the end of time.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a fun trip. We it's called the Virginia Chronicles. We are going to we're shopping it around Netflix, Hulu.
I have the CD.
I actually
I found mine.
know where my footage of it is, the DVD. So
I found my copy.
yours, it's a
Just a
DVD
couple
though
days ago.
of the video footage of it, or you said
Yeah,
CD?
I think so.
Okay,
I don't know if it's a DVD or a CD.
we may put that for our Patreon patrons. You'll be able to get a sneak peek of the Virginia Chronicles if you want. So, but anyway,
First trailer, we're already so off the
off
rail.
the rails. Oh yeah, that's our style.
What do you
Off the rails.
yes, the hype train off the rails. What do you want us to say about Long Way Up, Corey? I guess is the
I don't
question.
even have anything to say about it. I think it looks fun. I like Obi-Wan and things. Mike, what do you have to say?
What I have to say is, so as the editor of this podcast, I have listened to us talk so much, and I have had, I've edited every single episode, and there's so many episodes, Corey, that's where your sentences start out with, so I'm sitting in bed, and I'm going through YouTube, and this ad popped up, and I was like, that's it, that's the one. And so as you were saying, you didn't watch it to the end, but this has been out for over a month now. By the time that I finish editing this, it'll be over and it'll be all up. So hopefully you're right, and people aren't going to watch this, even the people that have Apple TV, and they'll watch the show and be like, oh, look, the super popular hashtag Hype Train podcast did an episode on Long Way Up. I'm going to go check out that show now. So that's my hopes for it. But let's just talk about travel shows. There are a lot of them. This one, I mean, as you're saying, Corey, I think you're assuming that Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman, which you've said like 4 different kinds of Charlie Borman's last name. You said Borler, Bormy, Bormer, all this other stuff, but it's Charlie Borman.
Charlie Morton.
I'm pretty sure they most likely got funded to do this by Apple TV and most likely the company that makes their electric motorcycles, because that was kind of a selling point.
Probably.
But because I don't think they were
Harley Davidson was
like
the company that made the motorcycles.
okay. As much as
I said it in the opening.
okay, as much as okay. Also, his name's Charlie Borman.
Yeah, Charlie Barton. Got it.
As much as like Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman do this, probably they've done it before. It was probably them getting some notoriety of doing that the companies took notice and were like, hey, how about you do it again? But let's do it for Apple TV and also so you can promote our motorcycles. I don't know. It looks like it's just there's somewhat of like, at least with travel shows, there is more of like you said, like we would go to a restaurant in every 50 states and do something. The only real goal here is it's just a long ass trip. And I'm like, okay, so of course there's stuff's going to happen, which makes it interesting, but it's just, I wish there was maybe just some sort of more interesting element to it than just like, this is a long ass fucking trip. And I'm Ewan McGregor. This is Charlie Berman. And watch us, like I wish there was just something else, like a twist, something. And maybe that's that they're on electric motorcycles. So I guess if you're a fan of electric motorcycles or you want to see electric motorcycles in action and Ewan McGregor, this is your thing. But travel shows are cool. A lot of them are interesting and whether they revolve around food of a certain place or some specific, maybe it's the person's heritage that they're going through a certain country that they haven't been before or trying out X, Y, or Z. They're always an interesting time. But yeah, this looks fine. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this looks fine. Strangely enough, other than in a way, Ugly Delicious is a travel show, but it's not really, which we talked about in the last episode. Mm-hmm. Other than that, every travel show I've watched in the last 5 years has been a British travel show. So this, if I did have Apple TV and I did want to watch this, would be keeping in a theme. There's something about British travel shows that are more interesting than American ones, apparently, to me. I really love the show An Idiot Abroad. That's a great show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, this could be all right. I think it's interesting. This is their third one. I'd never heard of them before. But this is the third one that Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman have done. But this is the first time they've done it in 13 years. Their first one was in 2004, Whoa. And their second one was in 2007. Same year as the Virginia Chronicles.
Hey.
Yeah, but I mean, this is fine. This looks fine. I don't know. The same thing you said, Mike. I don't know what would make me watch this show. There would need to be something more there would need to be some other hook that got me involved. If I watched the show, say I was at the dentist and this show was playing and I had to watch it, I might be compelled to watch the rest of it. Yeah, that's really all I have to say.
Cool. Boom or bust song, anybody?
Which means, yep. Here we go. It's time to boom or bust this trailer for Apple TV and Obi-Wan. And Mike, you want to kick it off?
Sure. I do like travel shows. This does look interesting, but I'm gonna have to bust it. And I hate busting things because I do it all the time. But it's it's on Apple TV. The inaccessibility part, I just don't see it being hugely popular, and it just I'm not trying to knock it. It seems like it's fine, but it's just I'm not gonna say it's a boom. That's all, really. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much the same thing. I'd probably bust this just because there's nothing really to pull you in unless you're really excited about electric motorcycles, which I'm not. So bust. But I mean, boom, Obi-Wan. That's one of the greatest characters of modern myth. Well, the power of myth.
Oh wow, the power of myth.
Corey.
All right, yeah, it's a bust for me, guys. If I had Apple TV, I would boom this till the fucking cows came home, and I'd make you all feel like shit for not booming it. But I'm not getting Apple TV for this, and I know this isn't console or this isn't Platform Wars, but I fully intend the next time I'm in Illinois and Pops and I are just hanging out at his place, I fully intend to make him sit and watch every episode of this with me. But until then, it's a bust from me. So triple bust.
Triple bust. All right. So next up, let's travel on over to our next trailer here. This is my pick. It's a movie that has been delayed so often that one of their latest teasers for the movie, they poke fun at how this movie may or may not ever come out. But it's finally coming out. It stars Ryan Reynolds and some other. It's kind of something that I feel like I've seen before, but it's the movie Free Guy. Taika Waititi is also there. Free Guy. Also Jacksepticeye, but I was going to save that for later. Free Guy.
Good morning, Goldie. My name is Guy, and I live in Free City. I have everything I need. Except one thing. Hey! Excuse me. Hey! Hey, bud, you ever think that there's got to be more?
More than what?
The stuff we do day after day.
Literally not once.
Today's gonna be different, Goldie. What are we looking at?
Who are you?
We ran into each other the other day.
How did you find me?
I waited outside by the murder train.
Guy, I have to tell you something. There is no easy way to say this. This world, it's a video game.
I really want to kiss you. Is that weird?
Listen to me. You're not real.
Wait, you let who kiss you?
Guy.
There's not a button for that.
Oh, he found the button.
Buddy, if we're not real, doesn't that mean that nothing you do matters?
I am sitting here with my best friend trying to help him get through a tough time. Now, if that's not real, I don't know what is.
Millie, I know this world is just a game, but this place, these people, that's all I have. Thanks, Guy.
Who is this guy?
This character in the video game Free City has been turning heads by being the good guy.
Woo! Who is Blue Shirt Guy?
You're absolutely right. Who is he or she, indeed?
This loser is ruining the game, man.
I don't care if he's Arnold frickin' Schwarzenegger. Terminate him. We're doing great.
Guy, in 2 days, the game is gonna shut down. You, this whole city, they'll be gone.
What if we can save it? Was that cool? It felt really cool. We can change our world, but we have to fight together. I don't even know what's happening right now, but I love it! This is the first time I've ever driven a car before.
I really wish you'd mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, Blue Shirt Guy!
Thank you! Watch out for them! They seem nice.
All right, so that was Free Guy. This looks like it has a spectrum of being okay to really terrible. I'm not super like hyped for it as I am just like I'm just hoping it's not terrible is the whole thing, because there's a lot of things in here that look a little hokey, and we've kind of the premise almost kind of looks it's like something we've seen before with like the Lego Movie or Ready Player One, where there's a video game universe and someone breaks out of that universe kind of thing. They're putting their own spin on it that this is an NPC character. I mean, it looks funny. There are parts that are funny in this. But I maybe...
Did you see Ready Player One?
I did.
Because that's not what... Okay.
Well, I did, but...
The way...
Like, okay.
I'd rather talk about how much I like the Lego Movie.
I guess the way I'm...
That's not the plot of Ready Player One.
I guess the...
is all I'm saying.
I'm trying to address that, but it's a video game movie and has like there's that part in Ready Player One where it's just a bunch of video game references, like a ton, like you get, and not even just video game, like the Iron Giant shows up for some reason, and just other.
I read the book to Ready Player One, and I didn't watch the movie, but
okay. So I don't know.
I knew
it's
what
just
you were trying to say, Fernandez.
It's just because it's like this modern video game thing where like this is definitely like trying to maybe harken to like Grand Theft Auto and like definitely like Fortnite, and I feel like it's maybe this is me getting older, but like I'm not like Fortnite's annoying to me. The dance meme thing that they do is annoying, and it's in this trailer. But I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds, and I think he's charming and very funny. So there's redeeming qualities to this. The main thing I just wanted to even say, I guess I'll just say it. Jacksepticeye is a YouTuber. He's gonna be in this, and it also lists Ninja, Pokimane, and Lazar Beam. They have cameos in this, and they're streamers. Jacksepticeye is really annoying to me. Like, because I watch. He's just loud. He just yells a lot.
Corey, do the voice.
No, don't do it.
Oi, I'm Jacksepticeye. Oi, hey, thanks for tuning in. It's me, Sean, again. Oh, no, oh, geez, we're playing this today. Oh,
I hate it. He's so like. I'm sure he's a fine person. It's just yelling. It's just yelling. He's playing a video game and yelling, and I don't like it. I don't know who Ninja is. He's like, I've only heard his name and I think seen a picture of him. He's like some kid with blonde hair or something, and that's it. I don't know. I've never seen.
He's like the world Fortnite champion or something like that.
Okay, cool, but yeah, I don't know. That's annoying. So I just don't think that this movie is for me. It's for a generation younger, maybe 2 generations younger than me that plays games now. While, we talked about Ready Player One, and that video game movie had references of like, I think the characters in that movie still had the nostalgia and respect or something, or love for 90s and 80s stuff, which is why like there's the scene in that movie where there's just a bunch of characters from my past in video games and media and pop culture just show up so you can see them and be like, hey, I remember that, and it's just kind of dumb in a movie if you really think about it, though.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but one of the biggest criticisms of the book is that, of course, the book and movie are set something like 20 to 30 years in the future, but the book is 80s nostalgia, the book, and it's like, oh, it's really flimsy the way they set up why these teenagers, who aren't born yet are super nostalgic for the 80s. So that was the big criticism, but I don't know, I enjoyed the book.
Okay.
I liked it.
So yeah, that's my main thing on this, but it's cool. Ryan Reynolds, Joe Keery is in this. Taika Waititi, as we said. Jodie Comer is a newcomer there. Plays Molotov Girl, or Ryan Reynolds' love interest. You get to see a little cameo from Alex Trebek. That was my favorite cameo, not this all these streamers, to be honest with you. But this movie was supposed to be released in July, but due to the 98 Degrees reunion tour, it got pushed. And then it is funny seeing the one of the teasers is them on a Zoom call with the director, the whole cast, and they all are just spitting different time frames from when the movie's released. Like, Free Guy coming this Christmas, Free Guy coming July 4th, and then stuff like that. But yeah, let's move it on to Corey and tell me what you think about Free Guy.
As much as I hate to say it, Fernandez, I agree with you full-heartedly. This is definitely made for somebody. It's not me or you. And I don't want to speak for Sanford because he hasn't had his turn yet. It's not for us. This is definitely the Fortnite generation.
You're not wrong.
The Fortnite generation of gamers. Like, it was like someone took a meme of let's say, what's
The Emoji Movie.
You took, let's say you took a still of like.
That's not a bad comparison.
No, it's not. Of
From
like
a surface
Slippy
level,
Frog,
yeah.
of Slippy Frog getting shot down,
Slippy
and then
Toad.
the meme tag says, "You think you're having a bad day? Imagine this guy." Like that's what this movie is. Like you think your day's tough? Imagine being an NPC in your job. And then they built a whole movie around it. I love Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi as much as the next guy. But at some point, you're eventually going to put them in a vehicle that doesn't appeal to everybody. And this is that vehicle. Everything since this trailer aired, I feel like I'm glad we're talking about the show on the show. I feel like I've been the one guy in the shadows that's just like, bah, humbug. I don't like this. That's not my Ryan Reynolds. Like, I'm glad that it's actually that the three of us are in agreement that this just doesn't look like a good time. Like it'll be fine. And then the fact that it's been pushed so many times also just added like stacked onto my annoyance, because had it come out by now, we probably would have been done talking about it. Like it would have just been like, yeah, it's on Netflix. All right, what's next? What else is on? But the fact that it keeps being like, hey, it's almost here now. Don't forget, here's some more trailers, and it's just going to amp up more and more until it's finally released. It's annoying to me. The whole premise of this movie. So that's my 2 pennies. Sanford, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. So I guess the thing I want to say is, you're right. This isn't our good time. I think this is somebody else's good time, though. You know, I think this will hopefully find an audience with somebody younger. The weird thing about it, before I go into that, is, you know, since this has been pushed back so much, I watched a trailer for this to see if it was going to be the trailer I picked for like the first episode of the show that we did, where all of us picked trailers. So not the first episode of the show, but like the second or third episode. Mm-hmm. I watched a trailer for this. That trailer is completely different than this one. It didn't have any of the plot about like his actions affecting the real world, and like that there was no real world in that first trailer. So I was watching this trailer, I was like, what? Oh, I guess this is what the movie is about. So I guess that first trailer wasn't a very good trailer, in that it didn't give me a good understanding of what the movie was like. This trailer is a good trailer in that it shows me what the movie is like and lets me know whether or not I'm going to be actually interested in this movie. The answer is no. But as long as it finds the audience, I think this movie, it's going to be some kids' like favorite movie for a while. The director, Sean, I don't know if it's Levy or Levy. He mostly does kids stuff. Not everything he's done is that. He's a very prolific director and producer. But he did the Night at the Museum movies. But I think the real interesting part of his filmography is his TV. Most recently and most famously, he directed many episodes of Stranger Things, which was really popular. But if you go back into his filmography, he's done a lot of kids shows. He directed 47 episodes of the famous Jet Jackson.
Jet Jackson.
And so a lot of shows from like that era of our childhood. He did some episodes of The Secret World of Alex Mack, The Journey of Alan Strange, Animorphs, and then so it seems like he directed the majority of the famous Jet Jackson, including the movie and stuff like that. So I think this movie, they're going even bigger in like the kid-friendly direction than the trailer lets on. This is a movie for kids, and they've put it in the hands of somebody who does stuff for kids, and has had success doing it. So I think hopefully kids will like it.
That was my biggest complaint with the trailer, because I was like, what? So is this girl in the real world just going to date Ryan Reynolds after this is over? Like, I don't get it. Is she going to pull an Abed and just take his data file out with a USB or something?
Isn't this where Abed's village was?
Hello, old friends.
Abed!
You remember Hilda?
I live in the village. I love Abed.
Did she just say your name?
Yeah, if you max out a character's trust and affection levels, you can gain access to a front-end scripting language. Watch.
Cool.
She can make babies for me.
Oh, and I can't. I can't.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, okay, so something I forgot to mention that I did read about in the Wikipedia. This film was in development before 20th Century Fox was acquired by Disney. And it's one of the first to continue production under the Disney ownership. So I'm sure, I don't know if maybe there was any discrepancies of what Disney would want a film with a ton of action and guns to be. But I did also watch another video about this trailer and how, if you notice, Ryan Reynolds' character never shoots any of the guns himself. The one is an accident that he shoots the guy in the bank or whatever. But there's this video pointed out that like all the guns he's either just carrying and maybe getting rid of, so the users of the game, the players of the game, don't shoot anybody else in his neighborhood or whatever. And then there's the part where like he's fighting people and he's using like a steering wheel airbag and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe it is also to tone down the violence, but also maybe up the comedy factor that only someone like Ryan Reynolds could pull off. But another quick just side note to your point, Matt. I mean, this finding an audience, I'm wondering, though, if it will find the audience it's intended to seek,
right?
Or it's seeking, because I can't really name another movie that is for this kind of semi-specific audience of gamers now who like live and breathe on Twitch and play Fortnite and all these other games, you know.
And the other thing is, how do you find an audience in 2020? You know, is the big question. You never know.
Yeah.
You know, it's
so this is kind of a big risk. Yeah. But with that, we'll move on to the boomer bust, and I guess I got to do a song. So boomer bust time. The free guys in a video game, and I don't know. I was trying to think of a video game song, but you can't really sing them. Thank you for the accompaniment.
Come on,
I'll go first.
Anamanaguchi.
Anamanaguchi.
Friends of the show, Anamanaguchi.
Yeah.
Big fans. Friends.
So yeah, I'll just start out. I'm gonna bust this. Not for me, and I'm wondering if it's an unpopular opinion that we have. Maybe I don't know if anyone else. I haven't really talked to many people about this movie, but maybe people are excited for it. I just am not. But I mean, I think it'll be fine. Probably have funny moments, but I don't see this. I don't think there's going to be a Free Guy 2. And quote me on this, because when there's a Free Guy 2, I'm going to be eating these words. But I really don't think there's going to be a Free Guy 2. Corey, go ahead.
Free your guy.
Let's play Raid Shadow Legends.
I was trying to pull. Oh my god!
Wait,
you trying to pull Jacksepticeye?
No, but that's hilarious. That of course a Raid Shadow Legends comes out.
Yes.
I was trying to pull this.
Is that the Ghostbusters? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
There it is.
He's waiting for the thing.
No, yeah, bust. This is terrible. Bust.
Scrolling through your phone to find the
Sanford.
Yeah, it's a bust from me as well. It's not really a movie for me, but you know, I hope it finds its audience. Also, this is very unimportant to say, but free guy or free man is a phrase for extra life in a video game, and I've never used that term, and people who use that term are weird. It's like when people call levels boards. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Danny Sexbang does that.
He says
Ben Schwartz does that too.
And their generation is like a step and a half above us.
Yeah,
I think they're both from. I think they're both from out east, though.
That's what I'm thinking. I was just gonna say. I think it might be regional, kind of like Pop and Soda. That some people, but
I think it is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
because Ben Schwartz is from New York. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's a regional thing. All right, everyone. Moving on from the video game movie to the movie whose plot seems like a video game from the 90s. We have Jiu Jitsu, starring a very obscure actor who happens to be the brother of friend of the podcast, Chris Coppola, director of G-Men from Hell, someone named Nick Cage. This is Jiu Jitsu.
You know what I don't understand? How hell are you still alive?
Must have been a pretty bad fall. The comet you see in the sky right now passes over the Earth every 6 years and causes a portal. And when it's open, we get a visitor from a distant galaxy. A poet warrior in the sci-fi sense. The spaceman. He comes here looking for a fight with you. The chosen Jiu Jitsu. If he doesn't get it, he stays and he kills everything. That is Alien Politics 5 through 15. Now you are all the chosen Jiu Jitsu fighters. But as long as you die bravely, no one else will have to. He's crazy, like me. There's no honor in killing crazy. I can fly too.
All right, everybody, that glorious trailer you just witnessed is Jiu Jitsu, starring Nick Cage and actually starring a whole bunch of talented martial artists. Tony Jaa, Juju Chan, Frank Grillo, and more. Yeah, I've been waiting for this trailer to drop because I heard about this movie and I'm like, well, that's insane. And it finally dropped and I'm like, I'm doing this for the hype train. We got to talk about this. This looks like you gave close to big budget movie money to a super low budget, goofy martial arts movie. Not even from like the heyday of martial arts movies, but like maybe like the mid 90s. It looks absolutely absurd, but I'm absolutely here for it. It's crazy, man. Like this is some wacky stuff. What is there to say? As it says in the trailer, this film is directed by, I'm not going to be able to say this correctly, but he's from Cyprus. His name is Dimitri Tetis or something like that. And he's done martial arts movies before. He is also the co-creator of the movie. The movie, what it doesn't say in the trailer is it's based on a comic book that I had never heard of until I started looking up this movie. I'm in awe of this this audiovisual experience that was placed before me. Jiu-Jitsu, man, you can't make this up, but somehow they did. Corey, I'm going to kick this to you because I'm just ranting at this point. What do you think about Jiu-Jitsu?
So when I had my little sit down to review all the trailers we had picked for this weekend's recording schedule, I was sitting there after Jiu-Jitsu played just going, I wonder if Fernandez linked the wrong trailer, because it's insane to me that Sanford picked this. I mean, I'd expect Mike or myself to pick something this tomfoolish, but
I wanted to pick it. Matt kind of stole it. But I mean, he was as he was saying, he was like eagle eyeing this before it even dropped. He was playing and wait for the Jiu-Jitsu trailer to drop.
Thanks to Rudy, because I prepped for this episode super early because when we discussed what we were going to do for this week, Rudy was sleeping on my lap. So when we were done, I was like, well, I guess I should just pick my trailers because I can't get up. So
Rudy,
my early bird gets the word.
Rudy. This just everything about this trailer just had me scratching my head and just being like, I can't believe this is real. I can't believe we're getting a trailer for this. And then at the end, I kind of understood because it said in theaters and on demand November 20th. And I was like, oh, okay. So like the last 45 things Nick Cage has been attached to, it's on demand instantly. I I don't know.
Kiss.
This could probably be like a really fun time to just like get a bunch of people together, crack some drinks, have some tapas, and just put this movie on and be like, can you guys believe that? Oh my God, it was so weird.
Tapas are too classy for this film.
It's pronounced tapas, but yes. But yeah, I don't have, I'm also at a loss for words. So I'll just instantly kick it to Fernando.
So yeah, Jiu Jitsu. When looking into it, as Matt said, this is based on a comic book that like no one's really heard of. And so I tried to look into it as much as I could. And that comic book I only really saw one video about it, but it looks really bad. The comic book is what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, you can't find it, can you? There's like no information.
No,
I tried.
There's barely any.
Yeah.
I found a really weird article on like a comic book store's website where this guy he does a review of that because of the film coming out.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. I'm hoping the film is better.
So first, I guess the first thing that I would like to say just about the comic book, the art looks awful. Like it looks like something that I would have drawn back in like 6th grade. And I feel bad saying that because I'm sure whoever the artist they got to do it was probably, because it's just an indie comic, like it's probably like a budget was spent to like have this artist do this stuff. But to me, it just looks so bad. And so then the story of the comic that this guy describes is that there's this guy, he's like a high school coach or like gym teacher or something, or teacher. And he has like these memories of like alien races and of jiu-jitsu and martial arts and these people. And the way he describes it is the comic book is like a like almost stream of consciousness of just things put together. And it's kind of what this looks like. I mean, this movie, looking at the trailer, I mean, it looks like it could be so bad, good, bad movie, Nicolas Cage as an actor, I mean, you can see it looks like even just from this trailer, like that he got to kind of just be Nick Cage and do whatever he wants. You see him in different outfits, and one he looks like some weird drunk guy, or like he has like a bandana on his head and sunglasses, and then he's also trying to like explain the jiu-jitsu and how you are chosen and this stuff. But it also throws in like aliens and then being the chosen one, and this whole story looks all over the place. But like I'm the type of person, like as much of Corey as being like the horror guy, I don't know how much, Matt, you are, but I might consider myself the cheesy action guy.
Yeah. That's you.
Yeah.
You're the guy.
Yeah. So like this looks right up my alley of I just really want to see it. Whether or not it's good or not, I want to see this.
Right.
And that's the main, I think, takeaway from it. But I wanted to talk about so Tony Jaa, if people are familiar with the Protector series, I think he did, and then Ong Bak. If anyone has seen those movies, they're not Korean, they're Thai movies, correct?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
pretty
Thai. So Tony Jaa kind of broke into the action scene with those Ong Bak movies being very popular. Which, if you watch those, the first one's really good, the second one's pretty good, and then the third one is crazy and goes into like mystical, the gods and deities that his village believed in, and it gets crazy out there. But anyway, this looks like maybe I feel like he's had many already forays into American action movies and martial arts action films, and this seems like another trying to kind of break into American action films. And Frank Grillo is definitely a rising name in action as well. But I feel like action movies nowadays aren't the big sellers anymore. They aren't the big blockbusters anymore that they used to be. Like Nick Cage and Con Air, like that's an iconic action film forever. and has a, crazy big cast and all these, crazy huge action scenes that, the company spent a ton of money on. I just think that film studios are less inclined to do this kind of action film, because like they'll do an action film, but the story kind of needs to be maybe a little bit more gritty and grounded. And this is out there, man. This is aliens, mystics, superpowers, kung fu, martial arts, Nick Cage. Like, this is what like it's almost a blast from the past of being just like a crazy thrill ride, I guess. As like this trailer shouldn't have had Nick Cage doing the voiceover. This should have had the movie trailer guy doing it. Like, that's what it felt like. It just feels like something that like it's like out of time, I guess, for me. Which is why I'm excited for it.
I guess to weigh in on that, it's of note that you're right, that big studios aren't behind action movies now. And there is absolutely no big studio behind this. The distributing company who's distributing this movie is a company that was created to distribute this movie. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, the writers and director did do the comic book.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I didn't really mean to like bash their art style, but I'm like, why would you choose this guy? If you're going all in on this movie, spending all this money, why wouldn't you at least make the source material good too? But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's of note that at least the director, Dmitry Logotis or whatever, who wrote the comic book, is not a comic writer. He is a movie director, and he's had a long career in film. And I guess he just decided to do a comic book. And he's like, nah, I'd rather do it as a movie too, I guess. So yeah, this is a crazy. I'm just flabbergasted that this exists. But I mean, I'm not unhappy about it. I really feel like we never really talked about it on the show because, again, Corey was going to pick it and decided to not pick it. But I almost feel like this movie is kind of the modern Adam Sandler movie of martial arts, in that it was a bunch of martial artists got together to have fun and make this dumb movie.
QB Halloween.
Yeah, because we never talked about that on the show.
Funny comedy of 2020.
But yeah, it sounds like the director of the movie is like has a real appreciation for martial arts, and so he was just sort of fanboying, and he's like, I want to write this so I can have Tony Jaa in a movie, and I can have Juju Chan in this movie, and whatever.
Just to expand on that, I mean, if you look at the credits of Dmitry, whichever we say his name, Dmitry Logothetis, he's responsible for like the, I guess, later editions of the Kickboxer franchise, which if you remember,
it says so in this trailer,
and also just because I want to give him credit too, because we've been talking about Dmitry so long. Jim McGrath also worked on the comic book as a writer and wrote this movie. He also helped write one of the Kickboxer films that is in reference to this one, Kickboxer Retaliation. So the Kickboxer franchise, though, was I believe it was like maybe mid 80s to late 90s when the first Kickboxer was, which I'm not looking at the IMDb. This is straight off my memory. I believe Jean-Claude Van Damme was in one of them, but I'm thinking he might have been in a different film from that time that I'm mistaking it for. But I do know from the sitcom.
No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Okay, but I believe in one of the Kickboxer movies, the sitcom Step by Step. Does anyone remember that?
Absolutely.
So the Cody from that show that lived in the garage or whatever.
Buddy.
He
lived in a trailer in their backyard.
Yeah, I believe he's in one of the Kickboxer movies also. He definitely tried to break into this action career star, and because Cody was like this lovable goof kind of guy, very stupid. And I remember seeing him in one of the Kickboxer movies, and I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Cody from Step by Step being a kickboxer and getting his ass, getting all jacked and shit.
The guys behind this movie only worked on the Kickboxer reboot franchise, which started in 2016.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is that the
yeah.
Kickboxer franchise, though, it seems like something they must have picked up.
Yeah,
he's in Kickboxer 2.
Loved, yeah.
So is the guy from
2,
Step
3, and
by
4.
Step. 2, yes, 2, 3, and 4. But anyway,
Sasha Mitchell.
it's one of those things where, like, I guess back in the day, it was like the first one was good enough to have some sequels, but then from then on, everything with the Kickboxer name on it was like straight to video because they weren't good. It was just cheesy action films that were like low budget to make because, it's called Kickboxer. He's not like an android robot. You don't need crazy special effects. He doesn't tout a ton of guns. He's using his, he's kick puncher. He's, basically. So
Is there anything that we can give you?
Don't call me Kick Puncher. Call me David.
His strengths.
Yeah.
May I please read Sasha Mitchell's mini biography before we continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sasha Mitchell is a model, actor, and kickboxer who will forever be known for 2 roles. From 1990 to 1993, he took over for Jean-Claude Van Damme in the Kickboxer series. A black belt in Taekwondo, Sasha was once an amateur kickboxing champion, and it helped him land the role of a boxer in 1988's Spike of Bensonhurst. In 1991, Sasha got the role of Cody Lambert on the popular series Step by Step. He played Cody from 1991 to 1996, and after some personal problems, returned for its final season in 1998. Holy shit.
They replaced him with Bronson Pinchot for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Sasha Mitchell, same birthday as me. So,
So going into that, though, Kickboxer is that, like, hokey, cheesy action flick franchise. So, I mean, this being like it's a branching out into a new area, but it's from these guys, I guess. I mean, I'm just saying this is their shtick, I guess, is cheesy action films. Looks like a cheesy action film. I mean, this isn't going to win. This is not going to win an Oscar. We're not going for that. We're going for pure entertainment value. Whether it's bad, good, or whatever, I'm going to see this movie. So that's my take on it, I guess. My second and third take on this fucking movie.
yes. Let me try to prepare my soul for this. Boomer bust. Are we going to do the boom or bust? Yes, we are. Boom or bust.
May I please try a replacement to that song?
Yes.
Everybody was boomer busting.
There we go. Hey.
Those kicks were fast as busting.
That was great.
Yes. That's what we're going with.
We're probably gonna get a copyright strike for that one, but I love it.
Yeah, because it was so dead on.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start. I'm of two minds with this movie because it looks completely ridiculous. And the last movie I saw with Nicolas Cage that looked ridiculous was several years ago. It was Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance.
Spirit of Vengeance.
And that's like the worst movie in the world.
It's so bad.
But
and it has Idris Elba. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and
I don't want to keep
his character was a drunk.
Yeah,
his character was a drunk because I think he was like, well, I'm not going to be sober on the set of this movie. But like when I went to see that movie, my friend kept saying like, it can't be worse than Ghost Rider 1. Can't be worse than Ghost Rider 1. It's so much worse than Ghost Rider 1. But on the other hand, this movie looks like such a celebration of dumb movies that I can't possibly feel negatively about it. So just because of who I am, I'm going to say boom just cause. But that's me. Corey, what do you think?
In the same vein, I'm gonna say bust just because that's for me. This is not. I'm not the resident martial arts guy. I would, like I said, it'd be fun to get, like if the three of us were hanging out and we'd had some drinks and we had some eats and then we were just like, let's watch Jiu Jitsu. It's on Amazon Prime for $5.99 right now streaming. I'd be like, yeah, okay, fire it up and we'll watch it and have a good time. But like, since you guys are so far away, there's no reason I'm ever gonna pick this up or watch it. So bust for me. Mikey?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta watch the crazy stuff and just kind of just enjoy how absurd things are. But it's totally hit or miss. Like this could be awful in a really bad way or great in a bad way. But I don't see this being good in any conventional sense of the word. So
it couldn't possibly be.
So in all aspects, this should be a bust. But just like you, Matt, because of how you are, but how I am, I gotta see the absurdity of this film. So I'm booming the hell out of it. So boom, boom, boom.
All right, that's 2 booms and 1 bust for Jiu Jitsu.
All right, let's move on to the golden ticket and see which trailer here is going to be their last stop on the hype train. So let's vote for it. Corey, where's your golden ticket going?
I'm gonna give my golden ticket to Long Way Up, to Ewan McGregor riding around with his bud on some electric Harley Davidsons.
They're new
Sanford,
electric.
What's
Harley
your
Davidson.
golden ticket?
I'm gonna give my golden ticket to Jiu Jitsu since that's the only thing I boomed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right, cool.
Go.
My golden ticket. I'm also gonna do jiu-jitsu. So it wins the golden ticket. It wins first class. The reason being though is, I want more people to, love the absurdity of action films and the cheesiness that comes with them sometimes, because then I could talk about it more with people. So that's my hope. But with that, let's move on to the last stop for one of these trailers. And I guess I'll go first then, since I went last on that one. And I vote we throw off. I'm going to say Ewan McGregor, Long Way Up. That's my vote.
Really?
Yeah. I don't hate
For how much you hated Free Guy,
I don't
kinda
hate
thought
Free
it was going to be
Guy.
Free
It's just
Guy.
not for me.
All right. Kick it.
I'll kick it over to you then, Corey.
Free Guy. It's Free Guy. It's Free Guy forever. Get it out of here. Sanford?
This puts me in an odd position of power now that I wasn't anticipating being in.
Because you thought Fernandez was going to kick off Free Guy as well, right?
I was close. It was on the fence.
Or that we weren't going to kick anything off.
Mm-hmm.
Something had to go.
Yeah, I guess what's going to go is Free Guy.
Yes!
Just because I like Ewan McGregor too much.
It's the only
that's why.
It's why this is truly our show, because this is the only movie that's actually it's like 20th Century Fox and Disney made this movie. Apple TV just threw something up, and Jiu-Jitsu is just fucking whatever. But this is like the only real movie.
Jiu-Jitsu the golden ticket.
I'm just saying. I'm just like this. It's just an example of why this show is ours.
We're great.
We are. There's no outside influences of real.
Yeah. Studios have no power here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If we were sponsored by anything and they found out we were kicking off Free Guy, we'd be blacklisted immediately.
They're like, you guys praised Jiu-Jitsu and kicked off our movie. You are idiots.
You guys are so dead.
So one thing, if you want to tell your friends about the hashtag I trade, we are the most unbiased trailer review critics on the planet. I'm just saying.
So if we're gonna hit the plug car, which is where we talk about things we've been enjoying, watching, reading, listening to, or doing, I am definitely going to have to plug Raised by Wolves on HBO Max, which is one of the shows from an earlier episode. We are on episode 6 or 7 now, and it is getting very good. I'm very enthralled by it. I'm not saying run out and get HBO Max if you don't have it, but if you know someone who has HBO Max, suggest it to them, or maybe suggest a viewing party using their password. Sanford, anything to pitch or plug?
As I told you, Corey, off of the podcast, I started playing Super Mario Bros. 35, the Super Mario Brothers Battle Royale game. It's pretty fun, actually. So plug that. It's free if you have if you pay for online for your Nintendo Switch. So yeah, there you go. Super Mario Bros. 35.
But okay, so congratulations. Okay. Let's move on to that.
Okay, everyone, this is the segment where we congratulate the teams behind anything that we looked at on the podcast, even things that we bust. We understand that a lot went into them, and it's a huge undertaking to make a movie, to make a video game, to make a TV show, and we applaud the efforts of creative people everywhere. Mike may know something that was released since our last recording session. I remembered one. It's Love and Monsters. So that came out. So congratulations to the team behind Love and Monsters.
No laughter is needed, Fernandez.
No, it's because he stole mine. Because he's like, Mike may have one, but I just remembered this one. And I'm like, that's the one I was going to do.
Yeah. I figured.
I don't know.
Congratulations to the team behind On the Rocks. It was released a day before we recorded this for streaming. So when you go to watch A Long Way Up on Apple TV, also check out On the Rocks.
I guess to end the congratulations, once again, I mean, we have fun and we rag on movies sometimes. But I mean, like, we're not making movies. We're just talking about trailers. Much respect to Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman and everyone involved in making these things and making movies and video games. It's a lot of hard work. So
they didn't get kicked off the train though, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, who got
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Much respect, and everyone at 20th Century Fox / Disney. I hope that not too many people were fired from Fox when Disney acquired you, because you work hard.
Yeah, I hope too many people didn't get fired when Free Guy got raked over the coals by the hashtag High School
Podcast. Corey?
Yes, Mikey.
I was waiting for you to respond. Take us home.
I know you were. I can tell. I can tell by the way you said it. Guys, Fernandez isn't wrong. We have fun here. But it's always important to remember to stay safe when you're having fun. So Halloween's coming up. If you are going out, please make sure to have a spooky mask on. By the time this is aired, we could be looking at Thanksgiving. So either way, whatever time period. Yeah.
Festive mask on.
Yeah. Whatever time period this is, have a festive mask on. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you're putting out cookies for Santos El Claus. Because who knows? This could air. And it could be Christmas Eve when this airs.
You're going to make this just incredibly hard to edit. I mean, these already are.
That's on you, man.
No,
that's
I know.
On you, man. You're like, you can just leave this as is.
Christmas, like what other, like put on your Labor Day pants. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, get your Labor Day white shoes out and ready to go. Make sure your President's Day coupons for new mattresses are ready for the sale.
You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day.
You don't tell me what to do. Guys, from all of us here, thanks for riding with us. And I'm Corey.
I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And now Mike has to edit this thing. And we will see you guys on the next ride. Choo-choo!